What's good, everyone? It's your boy Jrod, and thank you for tuning into my channel today. If you are new to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and we can get started with this video. So in this video today, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of being a solo traveler. So for those who don't know, 99% of the times on my channel, I'm always traveling by myself. I really don't travel with other people. In some rare occasions, I'll travel with my family and do vacations with my family. But for the most part, I'm going around to different places on my own. Fun fact, I've actually traveled to other places outside of Dominican Republic and Spain. The only thing was I wasn't an active YouTuber at the time. That's why you haven't seen videos or vlogs of when I visited other Spanish countries or even other places in Europe, because I wasn't an active YouTuber at the time, sadly. So in this video, I'm going based off of all my experiences from my travels in general, not just Dominican Republic and Spain. Oh yeah, shout out to ATL Kels. They just had messaged me that they came back from the trip from the DR and they enjoyed it. Guys, I do like hearing about your experiences when you do travel to the DR. So shout out to them because they said that they had a really good time, and it just made me feel really good when I find out that people, they watch my videos and they actually go travel to places. I thought that was kind of dope. You know, if you do go out to the DR, send me pictures, tell me about your experience. I want to hear about it. So on all my pro and con videos, I always start with the cons first and then I end with the pros. So we're going to start with the con. All right, so the first con of being a solo traveler is sometimes you feel lonely. This is true. Now, I know in my Q&A video, I said that naturally I'm an introverted person with, extrovert tendencies. So naturally I do like being to myself, but sometimes it does feel a little lonely when you're in another country by yourself. And it's a big difference from living in your native country by yourself versus being in a foreign country by yourself. Now, like I said, I already stay in my native country by myself, so being alone was never a problem. But sometimes being in a foreign country by yourself with like a different atmosphere, culture, language, etc., it can kind of feel a little lonely sometimes. And not just physically, but even when you have like a lot of friends. For example, I can go to a country and have a lot of friends and still feel lonely. Like, for example, my friends in the Dominican Republic, although like we're really, really good friends, but sometimes there'll be times where I wish I could relate to other Americans because, I have a different upbringing, different cultural background. And even though they're my friends, they might not be able to relate to me every single time. So in ways like that, you can feel lonely. Another way you can feel lonely is just not being able to share experiences with your loved ones. For example, you could be like at the Eiffel Tower and you want to look to your family member to your left and be like, damn, we really at the Eiffel Tower, or this is a cool experience. Because no matter how many videos and selfies and, messages you show to people, like when you go back to your native country, it's never the same as experiencing it with them. So sometimes those type of things can make you feel lonely. Okay, the next con of being a solo traveler is that danger intensifies. So being a solo traveler, it is true that danger does intensify because you do become more vulnerable because you are by yourself. And that's why I tell people you always got to be aware of your surroundings and always be on your A game, because you never know what to expect. And especially dealing with other people. This doesn't have anything to do with Dominican Republic in particular. This is just any country across the board, but you cannot trust everyone who you come in contact with. I always tell people, don't trust anybody. You can be friends with people, you can hang out with people, but do not always trust people because you never know what people are capable of. That's why I say if you are a solo traveler, you definitely got to be very, very careful about the people who you come in contact with and meet, because nowadays people don't care. So I always tell people, when in doubt, leave it out. I always tell people, if you're doing something and it feels uncomfortable, or you're with someone and it doesn't feel right, or you're in an uncomfortable situation, 9 times out of 10, you don't need to be in that situation. Go with your gut feelings, trust your intuition. It's there for a reason. God put that there for a reason. So if you do feel uncomfortable, then you need to listen to yourself. Don't take anything for granted. Okay, so the next con of being a solo traveler is having to rely on yourself for every single little thing. So sometimes that is one thing that I do like about traveling with the family, is that, like when I'm with my family, sometimes my family pays for things. They pay for meals, pay for excursions, different stuff like that. Or we put money together, to pay for certain things. But when you're traveling by yourself, you have to pay for every single little thing. And that can sometimes be expensive, especially when things start to add up. And, if you need food, if you need to go somewhere, if you need to do an excursion, or like whatever it is, those things do add up versus traveling with somebody where y'all can like split the difference on a lot of things. For example, things such as like a hotel room. So the last con of being a solo traveler is planning. So this can probably be one of the most stressful things. Actually, this one is a pro and a con. So I'm gonna do the con version first, and then I'm gonna explain the pro version later on within this video. So the con version. So planning. This is probably something that I don't really talk about on my channel, but just trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B, or like what are you gonna do, and just trying to give yourself enough time to do certain things. That can all be kind of stressful when doing it by yourself. One of the things that I do like about traveling with people is you can kind of bounce your ideas off of other people and they can kind of give you help. But like when you're doing it all on your own, you don't have anyone to help you, so it can be a little bit stressful, you know. But I will say the more you do it, the better you get at it. Right, so now we're on to the pros. So the first pro that I enjoy about being a solo traveler is simply being to yourself. Now I know I said that this one was a con, but this one is also a pro too. Just being able to have alone time and reflect to yourself, it is really a cool experience to have, or just being able to do things by yourself. I do think that is an interesting experience, and you get to learn a lot about what you like doing when you're by yourself versus when you're with other people. Sometimes we judge our experiences based off of what other people feel, and I feel like when you're alone, you truly get to connect with yourself and be like, you know, I really do enjoy this, or I really do enjoy that, and you don't really have judgment for anything that you do because you are by yourself. I did make a really good quote about that in a previous video I did about solo traveling. And that's something that has helped me as a solo traveler, is not being around other people, because other people hold you back from you learning your true self. If your decisions and everything you do in life is constantly dictated about from people who are around you, you can never really truly learn who you are as a person. So yeah, definitely traveling alone, that is kind of like a beautiful experience. All right, so the second pro about being a solo traveler is that you are more approachable. Now this is true, you are more approachable alone versus when you're with a group. It's so easy to make friends when you're by yourself, and you can meet so many cool people by doing this. Now I did make a video about how to make friends abroad, so if you want to watch that one, this will go into detail about specifically on how I made friends abroad so quickly, but yeah, when you are by yourself, you are more approachable. Number 3, making your own schedule. Now I know I had already mentioned that this was a con, but this can also be a pro too. So just being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, is kind of a good thing. Now, one of the things that I hate about traveling with family members is that, you know, we always have to do things that, let's just say, I might not be interested in doing, or they might not always be interested in the things that I do. But when you do things on your own and when you make your own schedule, you don't have to worry about conflicting interests. Also, if you want to start your day super early, you can start up and wake up at 5 a.m. If you know you want to sleep in the bed till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can do that because you make your own schedule. So I will say that that is one thing that I really do enjoy about being a solo traveler, is that I can do anything that I want whenever I want to do it. All right, last but not least, number 4. So the fourth most thing I love about being a solo traveler is that you become a boss. And this is true, like you really do, because when you like in another country and you're grinding and you're getting it and you're doing things on your own, it does kind of make you feel like that. And I feel like you have to learn how to defend yourself. You got to learn how to speak up for yourself. That's why I say, like, if you are a shy person, I don't really think solo traveling is for you. I will say this, that it will help you grow out of it. So if you are somebody who's shy and you're trying to get out of your shell, I do think solo traveling can help you get out of that phase. I mean, you really won't have no choice. In certain situations, like, you will have to communicate to people. But in the end, I highly do encourage people to be a solo traveler. I have made a video before about this on my channel. It was titled, How Has Solo Traveling Changed My Life? So if you want to see another video similar to this one, you can go check that one out. But you know, solo traveling might not be for everybody. I feel like if you're a really extremely shy person, really timid, it might not be the best thing for you. If you're really immature, it's definitely not the best thing for you, because you do have to be mature if you're gonna be solo traveling. If you are somebody who always needs somebody around you 24/7, like you can't do anything without somebody else, then solo traveling might not be the best thing for you. But honestly, guys, if you just do it, it can kind of break you out of those habits. So that's why I do encourage people to try it at least one time. And you know, after I did it once, I was able to pretty much go anywhere. But guys, please share with me your thoughts. Let me know if you relate to anything, or share with me your experiences as being a solo traveler, and what did you like or what did you dislike? Because I do want to hear from you guys. I honestly do, because I don't really got no friends. I'm kind of lonely. No, I'm joking. I'm actually about to go to the club right now with my friends, so that's why I'm dressed like this. But guys, seriously, if you have not liked and subscribed, please go ahead and do so right now and catch me in my next video. Peace.
This is my brother, Angelito.
You guys see it?
Angelito. Angelito. ¿Qué me gusta? Oh, me gusta mucho divertirme, salir, ir al cine, escuchar música, ir a la disco, ir a la playa.